Golf, 10, 15, 20, golf outside, 25, golf 30, golf 35, golf 40, golf 45, 50, 45, 40. Yes, sir. Willie Golf, ladies and gentlemen, is running all the way to the state capitol. Give him 6.
Hey, what's going on this Friday? This is Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel coming at you. Forgive the setup. We're kind of testing some things. Got some new equipment. Got some better camera. Here, got some better equipment. Still working with a little bit of microphone stuff. But thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like. You share out the content. If you like that content as well, if you've thought about it as well, hit that subscribe button as well. Tennessee Vanderbilt tomorrow noon. ABC, 11 o'clock Central Time. I think this plays out good for Tennessee. This is the time where they really seem to play their best. They play their best. Again, seems to me like during these day games, I mean, you look back over the years with it. 2 years ago, went to LSU, throttled LSU in an early game. Just the amount of times they played these early games on the road. Josh Heupel's first year, they went to Missouri, throttled Missouri in an early like this as well. I mean, that's the times along the way where this program's done it. You get later in the day, who knows on it with it. But this game, I said earlier in the week, this is without a doubt the biggest game of the Josh Heupel era. Nobody's going to be able to tell me any different on this one. This is a fact. Okay, we can look back at these games. I mean, the biggest of this season was probably 2 weeks ago when they played Georgia. They lost that one. Fortunately, last weekend happened. Total chaos ensued. Tennessee is firmly back in the playoff mix. They win, they're in. It's real simple at this point. You win, you're in. Now, I think they might need a little bit of help to host, but there's still, I think the percentage right now has Tennessee playing Georgia in the first round. I think the percentage of that happening is very slim to none. And I don't want it to happen. That's the one team I do not want to see in the first round from Tennessee, because Georgia's had Tennessee's number. Let's face the facts on that one. There's no other way to put it. Georgia, since Josh Heupel's been here, and for a while now, has owned Tennessee. It's not even been competitive. And really, the last time Tennessee was competitive in this game was back when Tennessee beat them with the Dobnell boot. That was the last time they were really competitive. In this game, they were pretty competitive 2 weeks ago, but Georgia in the second half dominated Tennessee. We can blame officiating all we want on it. Did some calls hurt Tennessee? Absolutely. But the bottom line is Georgia dominated that football game. When you can't even touch the quarterback, it is what it is. When you can't really get much going offensively, it is what it is as well. This is, to me, though, and I titled this Triumph or Trouble. Here's why I put that. You have this chance. 2016, Butch Jones, rebuilding Tennessee's program. What did Butch Jones need to get to that next level? He needed to win the SEC East. Okay, that's not a thing now. All right, he needed to win the SEC East and get to Atlanta. I don't know if they would have won the SEC championship that year, but it was a prime time for them to win the East. They went to Columbia. They dropped the ball, much like 2022 Tennessee did with Josh Heupel 2 years ago. They dropped the ball. SEC East was pretty much out of their grip at this point. They were tied with Florida. Florida took care of business. But then at the end of the season, the Sugar Bowl still in reach. Would have been big for Tennessee to reach Sugar Bowl. Hadn't been to a New Year's Six bowl at that point. Hadn't been to one of these big bowls in ages, it seems like. And they go to Vanderbilt the last game of the year and lose the football game. And they get relegated to, what was it, the Music City Bowl, I think it was, against Nebraska. You go from winning the East, New Year's Six Bowl, all the way back down to the Music City Bowl against Nebraska. In that moment, of course, Josh Dobbs and others graduate at the end of that season. Butch Jones never recovered. Butch Jones 1 year later was out. I went to the Big Orange Caravan in Kingsport and heard this guy boasting and bragging about winning 9 games that year like that's the standard. Well, I can tell you this right now. There's 2 scenarios I'm going to play for you. One, Tennessee could go 10-3. Another scenario, Tennessee could go 10-3. All right, here's the difference in the two. You win this weekend, or you could go more than 10 wins possibly, all right? But let's say the worst case in both of these is 10-3, 10-3, all right? 10-3 this weekend, you win, You're in the playoff. Maybe you go on the road, you lose your first round game. Good season, in my opinion. Still a good season. Would you have wanted more? Yes. But I don't think, especially when you look at the woes of the offense, people would complain. And we'll present scenario number 2 of 10-3. Tennessee loses this weekend, which puts them out of the playoffs. Now they go to the Citrus Bowl, the Outback Bowl, or somewhere. They beat a team who was not even in contention for the playoff. They go 10-3. This fan base is livid. This fan base is livid. You lose this weekend, this fan base will not travel for a bowl game. You'll have your people that are always going to travel no matter what. Your majority of fans will not. So triumph for trouble. Why do I say that? You win this weekend, this fan base is on board. There's going to be some who's just not going to get bothered this weekend if they lose by it. Okay, that's fine. That's everybody's opinion. Me, I'm going to speak. Me personally, I'm going to be livid if they lose this weekend. You have a chance this weekend to lock up your chance to play for the national championship. Okay, you're in the playoff. You're playing for the national championship. You may not win another game this season. Okay, but you have got to, and I use that Butch Jones comparison. Right now is that point because there's people have questions on the offense. There's people that have questions about things. I don't know that it's right now, to be honest with you. Not when you're sitting at 9-2. It's been a pretty good season. And has it been aggravating at times? Yes. But you win this weekend, this fan base is behind you. All right. I'm not saying this will be an easy game. I'm not saying they should waltz into Vanderbilt. I'm not saying they should walk over them or anything like that. I totally expect this to be a battle. Vandy, you know very much wants to knock Tennessee out of the playoffs. They would love nothing more than to knock Tennessee out of the playoffs. Your Tennessee, though, I like what I've read this week in that they're stating this is basically a playoff game. It's not basically, it is a playoff game for Tennessee. It is must win. There's none of this. We'll be okay. If Josh Heupel does not win this weekend, he's going to have a lot of trouble recovering from it. And what I mean by that is this fan base, myself, you cannot blow an opportunity. You cannot let Vanderbilt end your chance to play in the playoffs and play for a national championship. You cannot do it. I like the mindset they're talking with this team. They know what's on the line. I've had some tell me, well, they should treat it like a normal game. No, they shouldn't. This is not a normal game. This is, like they're saying, a playoff game. This is your playoff hope on the line. This is Josh Heupel showing, yeah, I'm here to compete for national championships. That's what it's showing. You're giving that fan base the confidence that even in a season that hasn't gone perfect, but still a season they beat Florida, they beat Alabama, you beat Oklahoma on the road. You did good things this year. Make no mistake about it. You've done a lot of good things. You're giving that fan base even more confidence that, hey, we know this offense has another level. The defense has made strides, which a lot of people question. Can a Josh Heupel offense have a good defense? I addressed that. I did a video on that before the season or early in the season. I can't remember which part it was. Now you're starting to build that defense. The next step is getting that offense back to where it was. Will it get back to 2022 standards? I don't know, but there's another gear to it. I think we can all agree on that. You're showing this fan base this year that, yeah, maybe the offense wasn't 2022. Maybe it wasn't 2021. We can still make enough plays to go play for a national championship is what you're doing if you get in the playoffs. You win this weekend too. You get, say, Notre Dame losing to USC this weekend. You get Texas losing to Texas A&M this weekend. Tennessee's chances, if they win, are really good that they're going to be hosting in Neyland Stadium in December. That'll be pretty awesome. So I'm not going to mince words. This is must win for Josh Heupel. This is must win for Tennessee, not only in terms of this year, the playoff, but in terms of Josh Heupel's tenure and what it's going to mean. He buys himself. I'm not saying he goes on the hot seat by any means. I'm not saying that. But he's going to have to earn back a good portion of this fan base if they were to go down and lose this weekend. With that said, I'm going with Tennessee, knowing what's on the line, to triumph, to move on. We'll get some help this weekend. We'll be hosting in December in the first round of the playoffs. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. Last but most certainly not least, it is a great day to wear the orange.